Hello everybody. Well, as you've seen on the link that you just clicked, title of this is Pooping When the Poop Hits the Fan. Yeah, I almost didn't make this video, but you know what, hey, that's what my channel's about. I kind of tend to talk about things and show you things I don't see other people talking about. I'm not going to duplicate videos like a lot of folks do. Real quick, the folks on you guys sewer on the sewer line with the city, oh, this doesn't apply to me. Well, hold on. I got an idea for you guys too. And let's talk about that quickly. Let's see, the worst comes and it does hit the fan, power's out for a while. We think, well, you know what? I want a sewer line. No big deal. Well, guess what? You need to check with your sanitation department and see where you are, your elevation to wherever the poop processing facility is. And you want to make sure that you're not in the low part of the city. Guess what? There's low parts in the city where they use lift pumps to pump that stuff back uphill to get it going down to the processing station. So when the power goes out, guess what? Them lift stations aren't doing their job. And you don't want to find a surprise about that. So like I said, just check with your sanitation department and find out where you're at. And just say, hey, if power should go out, what kind of trouble will I be in? Is it going to still have enough flow? Or is it eventually going to back up? Check with them, because you do need to know that. Alright, well anyway, back to septic system. Well, everybody's, all the preppers out there talking about stocking up on this. Don't forget this item, don't forget that item. Well, I ain't seen my mention about stocking up on the Ridex or whatever type of enzyme system that you use. So, here we go. I just recently located my septic tank. And it's a good idea. Make sure if you're on one, you need to know all about it. Where is it at? How big how many gallons tank it is, and how many people that thing is designed for. Really, really important. Now, I'm not a septic tank expert or anything like that. I just located mine. Only been out here in the country for a short time, and I've been Googling and doing a lot of research on them. So I'm not the world's expert. There's some opinions out there too that these enzyme treatments are not needed. Most of the research I come to find out says, well, yeah, it probably is a pretty good idea, and I'm going to continue to use it. It's my kind of thought. You do need something to break all that stuff down. Septic tanks. Like I said, you need to know how big it's for, how many people it's for, where it's at. And make sure you want to have them pumped 3 to 5 years, depending on how many people you're in your family. 2 to 3 people, 3 to 5 years seems to be the average. What I'm finding out. If you got a lot more, well, you need to do it a little sooner. Septic tanks have 3 different layers in them. The very bottom is called the sludge zone, or I guess kind of the poop zone. And the middle layer, kind of a strange name, but they call it the clear water. Well, the water is anything but clear. Well, that's what it's called. And on the very top, you have what's called the scum layer, or the floaties. That's all on top. So that's your 3 layers. And you don't want that sludge layer to build up where it starts overflowing into your leach field. And that's supposedly where the enzyme treatment comes in and helps break all that down all into a water form where it leaches out into your leach field. And the problem is, if you if you put in the wrong stuff down there, or you don't have it pumped out like you should, all that sludge and that stuff gets into the leach field where it breaks down in there and tends to produce a snotty mucus, snot, grime, slime and stuff, which gets into the ground and clogs up the ground's water absorption ability. So that's the thing you're trying to prevent. So keep your enzymes going and pump it on a regular basis. Now there is a level, there is a way to see when you really need to pump it out. There's different videos on that on YouTube, so I'm not going to duplicate that. But basically, you're just getting a piece of 2x4 and determining how deep your sludge line is compared to the rest of the tank. And that tells you when it's time to pump. Make sure you keep everything out of the septic tank as possible. If you got a garbage disposal, quit using it. Compost that stuff, throw it to the chickens if you got them, or just throw it to the trash. There's only two things that you want to put down, flush down into the septic system. That's turds and toilet paper. Nothing else. Flushable wipes? No flushable wipes. That is really bad. And if you do a lot of cooking and grease, get you a paper towel and wipe out as much grease as you can. Also be careful on the soaps that you use. And I'm trying to find out which one is actually the best for the septic systems. Antibacterial soaps are a no-go. And it seems like the deodorant soaps too are pretty much a no-go. I'm probably going to stick with just the good old plain Ivory. For the most part, that seems to be okay. There's a couple of spots out there where it's not okay. I haven't quite decided which way I'm going to go on the bath soap. Laundry detergent, well, I don't really worry about that because my washing machine doesn't go in there. It goes out and waters the grass and everything else. Yeah, some people say that's a good thing. Some people say it's a bad thing. That's just what I do. And so another thing, like I said, if you need to know the gallon size and how many people it's designed for. So let's say something did hit the fan and you got family members that come out and stay in with you. Well, that tank is going to really be overworked, especially if you got 2 or 3 times the number of people the system was actually designed to take care of. So if you got something along those lines, you might want to start planning on taking showers outside, letting that rainwater, that run water run off for benefit different trees and or your grass or what have you. Washing dishes in the sink water. You might want to put disconnect your P-trap, put a 5-gallon bucket, and again dispose that water somewhere else. Because that septic system is already going to be overloaded, and you don't want to keep on adding all the other water to it, that number of people. So again, it's important to see how many people that was designed for. Okay, well, that's about it. You know, if you're on the sewer, figure out if you're in a low spot or not. Because if you are and the power goes out for whatever reason, you might need to try to find a way to plug up your lines so you don't have a rude awakening one day when all that stuff starts backflowing. Find out what treatment works for you. You see the two here. Septic Sense is on the left, Riddex is on the right. You've seen their TV commercials. There's one other one I do want to mention that comes recommended, and it's called BioSafe1, and it's biosafe1.com, and that's one spelled out. There's a family member who's on a septic system. He's been using that for quite some time. He says he's never had to have it pumped out or never had any kind of problems. So I'm probably going to go. I'm going to give that stuff a try once I'm used all this stuff up. Give it a shot. But if he's give it a shot, if he's had good luck with it, I'm sure I will. Especially watching what you're pouring down in your drains and everything. So take a look at that. The BioSafe one has pretty good reviews. The Septic Sense has pretty good reviews. I didn't really do any kind of review looking for Riddex, since there's all these other ones to choose from. So anyway, take care. God bless, and don't forget to stock up on the enzyme treatments. Take care.